All right. Let's we are live right now. I'm just getting the streams going. Francis, how's it going? How you doing?
Pretty good. God is good. Can't complain, man. Thank God.
And of course you
Pretty good.
can't complain after
Uh,
being on that interview with Hormozi, getting the spotlight.
okay, let me tell you the backstory to that.
Let's hear it, man. I want to hear it.
So that happened a while ago, actually. It happened in November of 2025, actually.
Uh-huh. Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so I was going to buy myself a gift because my birthday is in November, and I was
Hmm.
thinking about what to do. And honestly, I was torn between getting a watch, which is kind of cliche,
Yeah.
or you know, just something, or just doing something else. And I kind of like weigh the options, and I was like, you know what? I think a perfect gift will be some self development stuff, versus a
Yeah.
watch. I mean, I
Wait.
still don't have a watch, so I
Hey,
never.
smart move. Yeah, yeah. Self-development. That's always good.
And so it was kind of a last minute thing. I remember like calling Alex's team and going, "Hey, I'm thinking about coming," and they were like, check this out, yeah. Extremely salesy. They're like,
Oh, of
oh
course.
yeah, we're booked out for this for November. We can't get you in until January. I'm like, if January is the earliest you can get me, forget about it. I'm not
They're
paying.
like, wait, hold on.
They're like, yeah, let me go check. And then they came back and they're like, yeah, we can get you in for December. I'm like, I know it's next Tuesday.
Hmm.
If you can't get me in next Tuesday, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And then they come back a third time and they're like, you know what? We're able to get a cancellation. Just extremely salesy. Like
Yeah.
everything they do over there is just sales upon sales upon sales, which was kind of an eye opener for me.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everything they do. Anyway,
They're on the script, bro. They're reading
yeah,
the
they
script.
are. They are militant over there. They are
Yeah.
militant. And I'll talk about my experience there once we, gets to, get into it. So
Yeah, yeah, of course. But
yeah,
no,
so
that's the backstory. Is you called and then you kind of went
yeah,
through their process.
yeah, because it was supposed to be a birthday gift for myself,
Hmm.
and it was going to be a watch or that, and I decided, so you know what, let me go do it. But it was honestly it was 2-3 days before the event, so it was almost impossible to get in, but somehow they got me in,
Yeah, yeah.
and that was how I ended up there. So it wasn't like something that I was like dreaming about for a long time, and I went to go do. It was
Hmm.
something to do that would have been like a worthwhile,
Yeah.
gift to
That's
myself.
That's awesome, man. Thanks for giving us the backstory. So for everybody that's popping in, we're live on all streams, and anybody can watch this in the future. But basically, me and Francis are good friends. We've known each other for a while, and I reached out to him after I saw that video because my editor for YouTube was like, "Hey, you should do a reaction video to this," and I was like, "Oh," and then I noticed it's you, so I did a reaction video. I gave my feedback, send it to you, and also wanted to get you on here and see what's up with what's going on with your business now, what your thoughts were on what he said, because I had a couple eye rolls in my mind when he was talking. I'm like, okay, and I'm not here to hate on Hormozi or anything. It's more of just like, it's easier
Yeah,
said than done. Easier said than done. And I wanted to get your feedback because a lot of the time when I see people stand up and he gives them the advice, they don't really. It's not like a really back and forth, they're not like, hey, well, I've done this and this. It's more of you just listen, and,
yeah,
right? Like I saw you were listening, but you weren't really, having the back and forth and being like, hey, listen, this is actually what it looks like. You got to look a little bit more in depth. So I wanted
right.
to get you on here to get your feedback and just chat with you. So for everybody that's coming in, Francis, you want to kind of just tell them a little bit about your business so they know who they're listening to, and we can get right into it.
Right, right, absolutely. So, hey, my name is Francis Willow. I am a real estate wholesaler, for the most part. Over the past, I want to say, year and a half or so, we started doing a lot of flips. Like right now, I'm probably in 30 something flips across the country currently. So we kind of like, started in plenty of flips. Honestly, bad decision. I mean, we're making money, but the cash conversion cycle just sucks.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I literally shut it off this month. I'm like, no more flips, no longer doing it. We're just gonna stick to what we're good at, which is just flipping paper.
Okay. And let me ask you about the flips real quick. So is it because you're spread across multiple markets that's making it very difficult? And if you were to do it in, well, maybe I didn't even ask you this. Are you flipping in just one market, or are you flipping all over?
Yes, we're flipping all over the place. And honestly, if I was only doing 5 of them, I'll be fine. The problem is I'm doing 30 plus of them, 35
Yeah.
of them. And, as much as, you leverage a lot of lending and, private money, it's still a lot of like capital involvement.
Yes.
Like the average flip, I'm probably into my own personal cash, at least 30 grand, at least that. So think about that across 30 something deals. And then um, I have overhead of payroll, I have overhead of marketing expenses. There's
Hmm.
still operational expenses, so it's just like bleeding money and just constantly out of money because
Yeah.
of what I'm saying. So for me, it was an experiment that was fun. You can make a ton of money. We actually had a $90,000 net closing today. That just came in. I just got the wire for
That's
on the flip.
amazing.
But then I bought that deal in January. This is July 28th.
It's too
I could have
long,
assigned it.
right?
I could have assigned it for like 45 grand, eight,
Yeah.
7 years ago.
You
So
know,
yes,
a lot of people don't realize that too, right? They're like, "Oh, I can make more money flipping," but it's like, look at all the opportunities that you could miss out on, and just the emotional
the stress, bro.
baggage, right? The stress. Like you're, I know you're stressing about the flips because, like, it, even if they do sell and they will sell eventually, it's still on your mind.
Right. And then it's not as exciting. Like, so I mean, I had a meeting with my dispo team yesterday and I was like, listen, moving forward, we are not touching any flips anymore. Because you're dealing with contractors, it's always invoice after invoice, you don't need to be paying. Like, we are wholesalers. Our job is to
Yeah.
negotiate killer deals and sell them and get out the
Yeah.
way. I'm
Yeah.
not in the business of taking title. Now I'm getting, like
Taxes and
violations. Yeah, violations because I'm not cutting the grasses and like how houses are flooding on me because mid-reno. It's just like, this is not what I do.
yeah, man. Well, I'm glad that you're done with it.
I am done with it. I mean, but then don't get me wrong. I think it's a great business model, but I think flippers should flip. I don't think wholesalers should flip.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like those are two different business models.
They are two different business models for sure. And so let's talk about what got you into, let's take on some of these flips. Is it because you weren't able to find cash buyers for them, or were you like, hey, I can make way more money if I flip it? Like what made you make those decisions to start flipping?
Accidentally. So I'll tell you the story how I did the first one.
Yeah.
The first flip I did was day of closing. Mind you, it was a $7,000 assignment deal, and we don't normally do those, but between looking for a buyer and just not being able to find somebody that wants it, we found someone at 7 grand more that just sell it to him.
Yeah, just get it.
Day of closing, buddy shows up and he's like, well, I need an extra 30 days. And the seller's like, I can't. Like, you're going to lose the deal. And so I sat down with my team, just like, why don't we just buy this thing?
Yeah.
And it happened to be in one of the markets where I own a bunch of rentals and I kind of have a crew out there already. And so I was just like, so I asked the seller to give us a week extension, which they agreed to.
Mm-hmm.
I called my buddy, who's my private money lender. Purchase price was $120,000 at the time. And he was like, yeah, I'll give you 115 grand on it. And, you got to come out of pocket 5 grand plus closing costs.
And you're like, that's easy.
Yeah. Like, okay, cool. So I get the contractor in there and I get coded for 35,000 in renovations. ARV was 240. So I was like, well, I can flip this house and make way more, right?
Yeah.
And so we do it. Luckily for me, because it was my own crew, I'd worked with them for many years. They moved into the property and lived in there, and they flipped that house in, I kid you not, 9 days. I'm not joking.
I love that, man.
So like, it was so like, everything was so seamless between like getting the funding and getting the work done. We put that thing on the market day one. We got an offer at ask. We make 52,000 on the deal after
versus zero.
I was like, how much money have I left on the table my entire life?
Yeah.
And that was where I fell for it. And so I just started like, so we will flip first before we even assign. And now I'm just like, you know what? But then every other deal since that first one has been a total opposite. It takes forever to find contractors. The lender's rates are just expensive. You never sell them for what you want to sell them for because you keep dropping the price on the market every week to get activity. And then it's just like the emotional roller coaster. Like, now my team is versus my dispo team that's just used to dealing with buyers. Now my dispo team is dealing with contracts.
Yeah.
That's not what they're used to,
Yeah.
So
And obviously, if all the flips would have went like that first one, yeah, you'd be flipping nonstop, right? But
Yeah.
it's when they don't, right? Yeah, that makes complete sense. You know, I got caught when I was in COVID. It was so easy to flip houses. You know how it was. Like you could just take anything. So we were flipping a lot. And then when the rates changed, we got wrecked. So it's like even if flipping is good, like it's just dangerous, right? Because you got so much tied up in the properties.
Yeah,
I
I
think it's
agree.
dangerous.
I agree.
So
I agree. Again, I think it's a model that works 100%, but I think flippers should flip and wholesalers should
yeah,
just hold.
yeah, agreed. Wow. So let's so your business right now, you've shut that down. So you're going, okay, we're flipping paper, we're doing novations
Yeah,
and seller finance, so like
yeah,
the extra
that's it.
strategies. That's it.
That's
We're
it.
not gonna
Yeah,
flip.
that's it. I mean, I will flip a sub to deal though.
Tell me
If I
about
need,
that. Like if they'll give you sub two like financing, you'll flip it. Is that what you mean? Like you'll flip the house?
yeah, because a
Just
lot
kind
of
of
the money I lose on flips, lose technically
on
is on
financing.
lending costs, on
Yeah, yeah.
finance. So if I get if I can get into a house for like five K down or $0 down, and then the mortgage is like $900 a month, I don't care if I hold it for 12 months. The problem
Yeah,
is
that's true.
my lender is super expensive.
Yeah. What are you doing? Like 12%, 14%? What did they got you?
So for instance, the one he gave me 115 for. So we just do, hey, I'll give you 115 grand, pay me $15,000 back in 4 months. That's kind of how
Okay,
we do.
so it doesn't really break it down with like 2 points, 12%,
No,
13%,
it's just
whatever.
flat. It's flat because it's somebody I know. It just has a bunch of money sitting around.
That's
And
good.
just like, the problem is when it doesn't sell in 3 months and he starts charging you per day, per penalties. And that's where I start to panic because I'm like,
Yeah.
every day I'm holding on to this house, it's costing me $140 a day.
Yeah, he's hitting you with that interest. Yeah, that's rough. And that's the hard thing with traditional wholesale, not traditional wholesale, but traditional real estate is like, you know, financing. When you try to get a buyer to buy your house as traditional financing, it can take a long time and a lot of hurdles happen, right? So
Yeah.
man, it's crazy. So let's talk about I want to get your reaction because I watched the video. I heard what Hormozi said to you. You told me you're averaging anywhere from 250,000. You've had some good months at 700,000 gross, right?
Yeah.
And you know, he was like, "Yeah, that's crazy," and that is good, man. You're crushing it, and I'm proud of you. That's amazing. But what he was saying, you know, what you needed to do is all sales. And I agree. So I agree. Like, I do think it's like with the business we're in, it's sales and marketing. But give me your take on what he was saying. I want to hear what you thought. Like,
okay, I mean, I have been to a lot of events. I don't go as much as I used to go in the past.
yeah,
Because for reasons like this, right? There are a lot of people out here that are experts who are trying to teach you stuff that they don't practice, right? And so I will say that Alex is one of those guys that, I mean, he has earned his stripes as far as if he wants to sit there and tear down my business. I think he's in a position to, not because he's Alex Hormozi, but because, again, like every single step of the way from my very first phone call to them, they were just trying to sell you. I mean, every single step of the way. I'll tell you something fun that Alex does at the end of the events. Just throwing this. When you're leaving, so you picked up your bags and you're walking out, right? Somebody runs after you. It looks accidental. Hey, Francis, Alex has a letter for you, has a note for you.
wow.
Every single person, they do it to every so like you feel special. It's handwritten, has your name on it, but that's a sales pitch in itself. It goes to every single person. How I know that? Somebody went after me and I told him, just watch. When you're leaving, they're gonna run after you and give you an envelope. And he calls me. He's like, "Yep, they did that. They ran handwritten envelope. Alex said I should give you this." Right.
That's
so I'm
funny,
saying
man.
like somebody like that telling you about you having a sales ops issue. It sounds like he knows what he's talking about.
Right.
Right. So for me, I will say like after the events, there was a lot of soul searching that needed to happen. I want to say it shot my confidence a lot. Like just seeing like somebody like have an operation that's that efficient. And it almost feels like everyone is for lack of a better word, it felt like he had a bunch of
Like
robots.
As I was literally about to say, robot.
Everyone was in cadence, not in a bad way. Like everyone was in cadence. Like everything was structured, everything was organized. So it was, for me, it was inspiring to see that, but it was also like very deflating because I'm like, where do I start from?
Yeah. And,
It
and
feels
and the
like,
question, my question is, do you even want that? Like, do you even want a system like that?
I mean, if that's what guarantees results, then I mean, you get what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
that's what it takes to get consistent results, right? Then why not? So the reason I went there was I had two major issues. I knew I had a sales ops issue as far as like how do I get my people to sound the same way on every call for the most part. And the
Hmm.
second issue, which was more pressing, was I'm finding it hard to attract the best talent. I'm having a hard time doing that,
Yeah.
right? For some reason, I can't get like the best talents to come work for me. I
Hmm.
mean, I do have a sprinkle. Like back then, I had a sprinkle of good talent, but like it was just 60% of the team is great, 40% don't need to be here,
Yeah.
right? And so those were the two questions I needed answers to. Did I get the answers I needed? Yes. But it's one thing to know what to do. It's another thing to master the art of actually executing it. And so that's what the vast 8 months has been about for me is okay, now I have the blueprint for what I should be doing. How can I hone the process into where it is repetitive and replicable even without me, being the operator?
Yeah. What did you do, or what are you doing right now to attract better talent?
Okay, so first of all, the marketing piece. So the marketing piece, more making it more compelling. As far as who am I looking for?
Hmm.
Like pretty much weeding out, what do you call it? Weeding out the like the job post itself should tell the applicants who this is for and who this is not for. So you want to
Yeah.
be very clear, first of
You're
all.
trying to get really niche on it, right? Like you're specific on who you're targeting.
Yeah, I mean, just let them know that call out who you're looking for. Like you want to call them out. Like if you are this, if this is who you are, you're welcome here. If this is who you are, if you're this kind of type of person, you're not going to make it here. Don't bother.
Hmm.
So it's that part.
Interesting.
The other thing is within that same marketing piece is almost overselling like income potential, like earning potential.
Yeah. The potential. Yeah. The opportunity.
Yeah. So it's like almost overselling it, but like without necessarily like overinflating numbers. So
Yeah.
before I used to market the position as 80 to 120,000. I do 150 to 250,000 now. So now
Now
all
you're
of a
getting
sudden,
different. You're getting different tiers of people.
now I'm getting ball players, people that are, they're like, okay, there looks like there might be a chance here. And there is a chance here. I mean, the highest earner here last year took him 194,000,
That's
right?
amazing.
So if you're crazy enough, you can get there. Now, no one has gone to 250,000 before, but there is a chance that that's possible, right? That was the second part. So that's within the marketing message itself, right? The other thing I started to do, which I learned from there, was headhunting, right? And so I hired like a
Mm.
headhunter, and just pretty much we just go for people that are already in the position. I try to see if we can turn their necks a little bit. Like,
Wow.
are you happy where you are? Now I know some people think it's not a fair game, but honestly, if you have talent that doesn't feel happy at your operation, then that's your fault.
That's
It's not.
business, man. That's just how it is. Like people are always high talent is always sought after. It's not like you can't just expect your
Right.
best guy not to be looking if you're not satisfied with the culture, the environment.
Yeah, right. So I mean, just these three things mesh together with like streamlining the whole interview process, just making it more professional and more like, okay, it's not 20,000 steps. It's like 4 steps. You get an overview from the very beginning as to what to expect. So you're not like in the dark as far as what next and what not, right? So just doing all that to make the process a little bit more streamlined for the candidates. Um, and then yeah, and just like selling them this dream, that overselling the opportunity, I want to say, right?
How much when you're talking to them about the opportunity, do you involve real estate, like owning real estate, anything like that where they can see like maybe potential to own real estate? Because I feel like that would attract like a different tier if they're like, hey, there's opportunities where I can get equity, I can do, what I'm saying? Like people might like that. I don't know if you've used that.
Yeah, so I will say that when I first started hiring, I used to do that a lot. I didn't think it's brought me any.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was working back then, so I don't do it anymore.
Hmm.
However, I do know that people in general, I mean, I think it's more attractive to people I personally, I could be wrong. When you tell them, hey, you can earn X amount of dollars, and you're welcome to partner with us on deals moving forward. So
Boom.
it's your money. Now you can come partner with us, right?
Yeah.
So you make it first, and you decide if you want to work with us or you want to take it somewhere else. I just think that alone is more enticing versus.
Yeah, that sounds good, because people look at the long term, right? They like, hey, I could stick with this people for a while, right? Versus it's just a job.
Right. So yeah, yeah. I mean, as far as like promising them, like equity in deals or property, we don't do it because again, it's this industry. I mean, what's the turnaround? What's the turnover time?
Yeah.
A year. So I'm gonna give you like what 1% equity in the commercial building I own, and you're only gonna be with me for 12 months. Just
right.
Like the dream doesn't make any sense for me to even sell it.
So when you so you went to Hormozi's event and you learned those things, how has that helped your business to hire this better talent?
Okay, so I came back and I had a sit down with my entire team, and I told them pretty much we're shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's my French. Told them we are not doing what we should be doing properly. Again, it tore my confidence. Like it actually did deflate me, right? Not because of the words, but just because I saw like a well-oiled operation.
Yeah.
Right. And so I came back and I was like, well, I know I can't replicate that, and that's not the goal, but can we get 5% better?
Perfect.
And so what that led to was pretty much all of December, I redid all the SOPs and pretty much raised the bar on a lot of things. Guess what happened after that?
Everyone quit.
Lost 50% of the workforce.
Oh, that's okay.
I lost 50%, so half of them left.
Is that they just quit? They're like, this is not. I'm not in this.
You started falling off like flies. I mean, before here, so hours at 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and guys will come in at like, 9:15, 9:30, 9:45 sometimes, and it's like, well, I mean, it's cool, it's whatever. But when after that, it was like, if you're here at 9:05, you're late. Right? And so things like that, you start having like difficult conversations with people. I'm like, if you can't show up to work on time, I don't want you here.
Yeah.
And so once you start having those conversations with people, it becomes, well, it was fine a month ago. Why is it not fine now? Well, it's a new freaking era, right?
Yeah.
So you either get with it or you get on. And then, so doing that, I knew it was going to come as a consequence. So people started to fall off. They weren't falling off because the standards were high. They were falling off because there was a lot of friction all of a sudden. Because everything they were doing was like scrutinized. Like, you shouldn't be doing that.
They were comfortable before, and now they're uncomfortable.
Right. So I lost half the workforce, and I lost a further 25% of the workforce in March. So like we're down to, at one point, there was only 6 of us here. I was like, I'm fine with that. But guess what? That particular month and the month after, we did $500,000 both months. With,
wow,
I'm going to say 1/3 of the team.
That's amazing. That's incredible.
And so if you ask me what were the benefits of going to Vegas to go see Hormozi, I think it's just made me more stringent on like the culture and what I'm looking at, like what I allow.
Yeah.
Right. And what we have to, what we, let people get away with. But it's also shown me that you can be more efficient with a smaller team. I mean, I stumbled upon that. I didn't realize I could put up.
Yeah. In that video, you said you had like 17 people on the team.
Yeah. At the time. Yeah. Right now, there's only about 10 of us in here.
And it's probably outperforms the 17 that you had.
There's way less people to manage. And just the quality of people I'm bringing in now. So I make them take like IQ tests. Honestly, bro, you have no idea like how much easier it is to manage people that just use this. It's just like,
you're telling me it's easy to work with smart people.
I mean, who would have thought, right?
Yeah,
who would have thought? So that's something that we screen for now in our interview, in our hiring processes.
Yeah,
we try to test like problem solving abilities and stuff like that.
Man, it's so interesting because it's just like common sense. It's like, all right, if I hold people to a standard, if I make sure they're smart, if I make sure they show up on time, and that they don't slack like immediately, we're just gonna be a better business. And I think the hard part is being the leader that's enforces that. Because like for my company, it's like if someone shows up late, I'm like, I get it, life is tough, I get things happen, but it's like doing too much of that makes the culture not very I don't want to say rigid, but consistent.
Right. But I also think that you earn certain things, right? So as far as I'm concerned, if you come in here, your first 90 days, you need to be immaculate. You earn the lateness, you earn the days off, you earn the absence, you earn all that. You don't come in the door and day one, you're talking about there was traffic. There was traffic 24 hours ago. You knew this. And you still showed up late.
Daily. There's, you got to know there's always gonna be traffic.
There was traffic yesterday. What do you mean there was traffic today?
Yeah.
News flash, there's traffic.
Man, I love that.
So,
I love that.
It's just like, just making people understand, listen, like Alex's word to me was, you just have to be militant, right? And that's just kind of what it is now. It's not like this is the most fun place for you to work, but however, there are bare minimum standards. Every second Friday of the month, what has to happen? You need to get your direct deposit checks, right? Every Friday of the month without fail, that has to happen. Okay, every day at 9 a.m. you need to be in here as well.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair compromise. That's a fair exchange. That's a fair exchange, right?
And I think like just setting the right expectations is probably the most helpful thing, because you got the people out that were used to other expectations, and then you got brand new people in, and you set those right expectations so they're cool with it. So yeah, I think that probably has a huge
it's getting it right from the jump, because if they come in and that's just what the rules are, it's easier for them to it's changing the operating system of the people that have already been there before. And that was kind of why I'm going to go very, very hard on them and let the ones that want to fall off, and let me see who I'm left with.
For sure, man. Wow. So I'm curious, you're doing tons of volume, tons of the deals and making a lot of profit or gross revenue. How much marketing spend are you I'm curious, if you're open, like how much are you spending in marketing every month? It's gotta be huge.
So last year we did 1.2 million last year. So about $100,000 a month, roughly.
In marketing,
yeah,
right?
Just on Google Ads alone, yeah, and that's all our marketing channel. But this year, just due to the the team's size fluctuating right now, honestly, we're operating at around 50 to 60,000 a month, because that's about how much the current team can.
I know last time we spoke, I think you were having need to sell my house faster. A certain company run your PPC, or is it in house, or you still have that company?
I still have a company doing it for me. Back then I had Gene Binko. I think he was. I forgot what company he was with now. But yeah, I have one of my really, really good friends that's also a wholesaler that's running my marketing for me. It's just something I've just never known how to do, and I just didn't dabble.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with it. It gets crazy. So you're not using any of these PPL companies. You're just running it through that.
No. And then for me, that's something I will explore some more when it's time to scale, if I ever feel the need to.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know. I mean, and I don't want to say the wrong thing here, but I'm not sure if these PPL companies are like generating, Facebook leads, YouTube leads.
Yeah, you want legit leads straight Google. Just Google.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you can't convert those Facebook or YouTube. I'm just like,
it takes more. It just takes more.
Yeah, my team is not used to those quality of leads. So like the last thing I want to do is put them under pressure while giving them lower quality leads. You know what I'm saying? So it's just.
Yeah, one of the benefits I see with the PPL companies, I do know they're buying each other's leads, they're selling multiple. It's obviously not as clean as what you got, but their return policy seems pretty crazy. Like that, if you don't get a hold of them, or they don't want to sell, you get the money back. Obviously, you don't get that with what you got. When you spend the money, you spend the money.
February of this year, I actually did my marketing analysis for last year. Again, we spent $1.2 million. Yeah. On marketing last year, and we generated, I could be wrong now, but I think it was somewhere around 8,500 leads last year, maybe 8,500 or 9,000, call it that. Do you know that 2,500 of those leads were just duplicates and spam.
Even
2,500.
yeah, and I know you probably have all those recaptchas and you get all those things probably to stop all
Right,
that. But it's,
right. So I was saying, so if we have 20, call it 2,000 leads that way, what you call that way, spam leads because we tag them spam. Our average cost per lead last year was 189,000, right? So if I do 189,000 times 2,000 leads,
wait,
that's
average cost per lead was $189.
sorry,
$189.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
$189.
Yeah.
So if I did $189 times 2,000,
Yeah, that's a lot of dough.
with $189 times, I'm sorry, 2,000.
Oh, good. It's all good.
So 378,000.
$278,000 in spam.
Was what we spent on spam. And so in that moment, I called in my director of acquisitions and I was like, we need to go PPL. Because if we went PPL, that would have been 378,000 that we could have spent on actual leads.
Right.
And at a 4x return, we left $1.5 million on the table last year from this current spend. So we made the resolve, we're going to switch to PPL. This was February of this year. But when I started doing my research into PPL, and I'm like, these are not like actual like Google leads. These are Facebook. I'm just like, I don't want to deal with that, man. I don't want to deal with tire kickers that I'm not ready to sell. And then, it just takes forever for us to close. Like my team is used to, we call a lead. If it's a hot lead, we'll probably get a deal today. I don't want to have to chase a lead down for 6 months before they're ready to sign. Not saying we don't do that.
Yeah.
But that can be the norm.
Yeah, I do believe that a lot of the marketing that goes out with PPL, a lot of it is like to attract the tire kickers. Like, hey, do you want to know what your house is worth? Have you thought about selling? Right? They're just trying to get people in the process. And yours is like, yo, do you need to sell?
Yeah, like right now, you're ready to sell right now. Again, I'm sure it works. I'm very sure it works. I'm just saying.
Time. Yeah, with time.
Yeah, for where my business is right now, I don't feel like I have the bandwidth to take that gamble. You know what I'm saying? Like I just feel like that's just a gamble that I'm not in the position to take right now.
Yeah. I would agree with you. Now, the one caveat would be like, if you wanted to dabble in one of these providers and just see it, like, because, honestly, with the amount of money you're spending, if you got introduced to like the owner of one of these companies, maybe you know them, maybe you know some of the owners, but if you're like, hey, you run mine legit, and you can expect me to be spending this kind of money every month, they're going to treat you with the royal. I think they'd be treating you with the royal, whatever you want to call it. They give you the royal treatment.
I have tried, because I know some of the owners, and I have tried to like personally say, hey, can you put me in contact with them for this particular reason? And I've just been told, yeah, the owner doesn't take sales calls anymore. Okay. Well,
let me let me connect you with the guy that I know, Property Leads. I don't know. Do you already know the guy, Property Leads, the owner?
No.
Because I'm like, dang, I feel like he would help you out, right? Because like,
I know him, but he just never took that call.
Okay.
Yeah, he's what I'm talking about. He didn't tell me that. His team told me, hey, he doesn't take calls anymore. I'm like, well,
that's weird.
And then they keep harassing me every day. Hey, when do you want to sign up? I'm like, I told you what I wanted already.
Yeah, no sweat. Yeah, and I know like there's other lead sources, but they're going to give you the tire kickers. They're cheaper. They're like $50, $75 per lead, but they're not going to give you
honestly, I think I would much rather pay double, triple, and just get like legit sellers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it slows down the whole machine too if you just have a bunch of crap in there. Like, tell me how your operation works with like the follow up. Do you have like leads managers just filtering all day, or like?
Yeah, so I have two. As of today, I have two VAs actually that just like
boom
spam the entire day. So I have 29,000 leads right now in the CRM over the years. And so the two lead managers just like spam, and then whatever they revive, they push back into the funnel. However, I did have a call with a company a couple of days ago that's using AI to just do that.
Right. I've heard that. Are you going to start implementing that?
Yeah, I actually plan to sign up this week because.
What's the company? I might have heard of it.
I think it's Steve Strang's.
Okay. Yeah.
Steve Strang's company. I've forgotten. Objection Proof AI, something like that. I think that's the name of it.
Yeah, they basically text. They send them for all these workflows, right? And they just get the AI to try and get people to book calls, right?
And I've heard the conversation. No, like they don't text. They actually call the sellers.
They call they yeah, they have the I've heard the conversations too. It seems pretty legit. Now I
It
would
is.
know if it was somewhat like not real, but maybe a seller I probably would never would suspect.
Nah, I heard. I heard the calls. Honestly, it was hard to. I mean, you would tell eventually, but by that time, you're too far into the conversation. It's not. I've had one of those AIs call me before, and I'm just like, this is a robot from literally
Yeah.
hello, right? This one, it was hard to tell until like much later. Until I think the AI started
that's
glitching a
wild.
little bit.
I'm excited for you, right? Because that's like I feel like that's a huge bottleneck in the business is the leads
Oh, yeah.
management. It's like, man, two VAs, like even if you had five, like a lot of people aren't going to answer. Like you need almost a system that's like not
Right.
not real people to just follow up and get them on. The closers are what's important. I don't think ever that's going to be automated, in my opinion. Maybe,
I
but
agree. I agree. I agree. I definitely. That's what I think. But I feel like, can you imagine if you're able to like automate the lead managers and just hire strictly closers?
dude, that's the business I think is my dream. It's just like just put me on the phone or put my people on the phone with qualified opportunities. That's it. Period.
Yeah.
Don't talk to anybody else. No follow up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what makes the business tough is the follow up,
yeah,
in my opinion.
yeah. It's like all those conversations that your people are having where they shouldn't be having.
Yeah.
Like yeah. What I mean, I don't need a closer to ask a seller the age of the roof. Anybody can ask them that question.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
I don't
saying?
even want to ever talk about the condition of the home with the seller. Like, I don't even care. I want to know the motivation and how are you ready to go right now? That's like what I want to know.
Yeah, honestly. So yeah. But yeah, how's it going with you though? I mean, I know you started doing. I know back then we're doing a lot of JVs. Is that
Yeah, man. I'm still kind of doing the same thing. I haven't gone to the Hormozi event and really just like got it super dialed in. My business is kind of just chill. You know how it is. Like people are showing up late. Let's be real. I show up late.
There is a place for that. Now I want you to get where that came from. Honestly, it just came from at that time I had a 187K, 190K overhead thereabouts.
Yeah.
So it's just like I'm literally one bad month away from crapping my pants. So it's just like, how do I make sure this thing can run efficiently?
Yes. And I'm right there with you. So let me tell you about my business, completely different. So when we talked back in the day, I was doing JVs. I had just left the company that had the large overhead and the multiple team and making sure we got in there, came to work on time and all that stuff. And I didn't really want to be in that position or run that. So I went just small. It was just me doing JV deals and networking and helping people learn the business. So what it is now, it's just me and my business partner. And what we do is we try to bring in people who want to learn this business and we try to partner with them on deals. So they'll come in, they'll do the marketing, they'll spend the money on marketing, they'll generate the opportunity. And then we get involved if they need help closing it. So it's like, it's small, but the overhead is really nothing, right? There's no expenses. So we're like, I'm not losing any sleep because the students or the clients, they have the expense, right? They're paying for the marketing and for our time. So, why would someone come to me and pay me to teach them and how to build the business and all this? Because I have the experience, right? And I can make sure whatever money they spend, they're not lighting it on fire. Because how if you're new and you spend $1,000, $2,000 on leads, well, you don't necessarily doesn't mean you're going to make money. You could be going against your team and they could be locking up all the deals and they could be losing. So, I look at myself as like, I'm an insurance policy for people who want to get into this business and want to make sure, cause we'll hop in, we'll do their deals. We'll close the deals with them. And then we split the fee 70-30. If we negotiate, we get it under contract and we dispo it, we take like 70% and they get 30. If we just have to dispo it, we'll take 40 and they'll take 60. So it just depends on what they do. And then our goal is to teach people how to do this business through deals. And then once they've done enough, they feel comfortable enough, they fire us and they just do the whole thing themselves. That's kind of what, so it's just me and a business partner and a VA. Like I said, it's pretty chill. And, I would be just like you if I had that overhead. I would be like, man, everybody, if you're not here, you're all gone because I don't got time to waste. I see where you're coming from.
Are you still in one market or are you doing deals everywhere?
Just wherever the clients are working, that's where we do the deals.
Yeah, you used to live in Utah. I think you moved to Canada, no?
Yeah, I live in Canada right now. Yeah, so I'm out here in my little shop. I bought a little farm, like a
Nice.
little tiny farm. So I'm out here in my mechanic shop. It used to be a mechanic shop. I turned it into my office, and yeah, man,
Nice.
life's pretty chill here.
What part of Canada are you?
Toronto, like if you
Oh,
Ontario.
gotcha.
Yeah. So I live north of Ontario. North of Toronto, about an hour and a half, and that's the business I have right now. And I understand your ambition to go more and do more. Like right now where I'm at, I feel like I'm just kind of like in a waiting mode before I like go deeper into something.
Yeah.
Does that
No,
make
no,
sense?
yeah, no, it makes plenty of sense, Nathan. I don't think bigger is better, and I'll tell you personally. Like, I feel like if anyone can say that, I can say that for sure. Bigger is not always better. Again, like I said, it's just more overhead, more stress. You don't even make that much. You don't make that much more money versus you, where overhead is bare minimum. Everything you keep is mostly profit.
Right.
So it's a lot. I mean, it's better quality life. I know. I know. You
But
can't.
but but what you're doing is as you try to achieve more and you're more ambitious, like there's growing pains, and that's why it's not as profitable. But if you keep going, then it's like astronomically more beneficial, right? Because then you learn all these things. But you have to, like, I remember when I was trying to grow my wholesaling business to a certain point, like we weren't that profitable because we were learning and failing as we learn. Do you is that kind of the same thing where you're you're learning?
Yeah. But then you're making costly mistakes that's then making it not as profitable as it should be. So yes, you make 700 grand a month, but I mean, how many mistakes did you make? What were the cost of the mistakes you made to make 700 grand?
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? So now I know how to make 700,000, but it cost me 550 grand to make 700,000. So, what am I really doing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, that's exactly right. And that's why like content, I struggle to make content sometimes because we usually just show like the result or like what the gross is, but they don't get to see, and nor do they want to see like everything, but there's so much involved with making, like you said, 750. Like, was that like a couple deals that accumulated that month to close and it just blew up, and then the next month wasn't that big? That's real estate. It's going to ebb and flow.
I agree. I mean, the goal for me right now, and I have it written here on my wall, is I'm calling it caps. I'm capping it at 750. And that's the number that I want to staff up and bump up marketing to where if the business can do it, I'm just gonna clip it right there. As far as we're not growing it anymore. And here's why I'm saying that. I'm not saying that because I want more money. Or because I need more money. I think it's the person you have to become to earn that, for one. And it's everything you have to learn, like you said, the growing pains, everything you have to learn to become that person that can then translate into your next venture. And for me, that's what it is. It's not really about, yes, I want to have the biggest wholesaling operation. Well, it's like, if I can play around with this baby that I have here, as far as like, how can I move numbers and see what's possible on the back end. What will give me the confidence to go dabble around with in numbers if we're talking about how do we increase from $7.5 million a year to $8.5 million? You know what I'm saying? Like, if not with this machine, the good thing about wholesaling, is cause and effect is very, like the reaction time between cause and effect is very quick. If you do something wrong, like, right away. It's like, I messed up the marketing. Boom, you can tell leads are crap.
Yeah.
Right. I had the wrong salesperson. Boom, you can tell. Lead to contract ratio is crap. You can see the effect of your good actions or your bad actions in real time. There are some operations, there are some industries you go into where you make one wrong move now, it might take you 6 months to see the impact of that.
And that's rough. That's real
what
rough.
I'm saying. So like, here we can actually correct ourselves quickly and go, okay, no, I'm not doing that anymore. Let me do this. I'm no longer doing direct mail. Let me do PPC. I'm no longer doing PPC. Let me do PP. And you can see the results right away.
That's true. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing when our industry too, when we're trying to attract the right client that we could work with. Like if we do Facebook ads to attract the right client, and within a week we know, not even a week, even a day, depending on how much you're spending, you can see,
Yeah,
okay, this is not generating the right opportunity or talking to the right people. So that's true. Like, and you need that. I feel like, especially when you're an entrepreneur and you're starting, not even starting out, but you need to know the result of something quick, or you'll
right,
get. Yeah, that's kind of the hard thing about flipping, is like you do all these things hoping for a result, but you don't really know when that's going to hit. That's
right.
the
And then
tough
you
part,
get to the end and you make 5,000.
bro. The worst thing I did was a 3 year, no, it was a novation, but it took like 3 years, and we made like $2,000 on it.
Why don't you terminate the deal? I'd call the seller and be like, hey, cancel the contract. I'm no longer
Dude,
interested.
it was one of those where I forgot I even had it. I was just like, you know what I mean?
It's just market.
I just left it on there because I told him, I was like, look, you live in an area that nobody really cares about. It was like Del Rio, Texas or something crazy that, anyway, that was back in the day when I thought it was going to be juicier. But
Yeah.
you know what ended up making it not so juicy is there was a family inheritance involved in liens and stuff. So when I
Mm,
thought we had more money to make on it, it got eaten up. So it's whatever.
yeah.
That
It is what
sucks.
it is. Yeah, I know.
So let me I'm really interested. So with your business, it's nationwide still, right? You're still running in different like your ads at different markets.
Pretty much went back the last 4 years, right? Took all the closings we've done, right? And all the ones with the largest spreads, just narrowed that down. That's kind of what we do. So like
What,
at the end of every year, we just add to the list like whatever towns we're getting, like whatever places we're getting like the best deals in, we just spend more money there. It's kind of what
is there? Are you seeing any correlation? Is it like bigger metros that you saw, or like anything that enabled you to like know which one, or was it kind of just random?
because last year, for instance, New York was our best state last year. This
Really,
year we have done 0 deals in New York,
man.
zero. Like
I know
last year, we killing it in New York last year.
and New York's tough. At least it's been tough for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
New York State, not city though. Like New York State, like
state. Okay.
yeah, like not the five boroughs. No, New York State, yeah, we're killing it in New York last year. This year, we've done 0 in New York. So it kind of ebbs and flows.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I was doing nationwide where we were just doing like trying to get the cheapest leads, and we would get leads in the worst areas. You know how it
Yeah,
is. Like you don't do
right.
that, right? Like you
Yeah,
don't just get that
we don't.
trash everywhere.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, we stopped. That's why again we're paying $180, $190 per lead. It's because we're kind of like a little bit
Yeah.
um,
Targeted.
targeted. Yeah, so we're not just doing blanket everything and give us whatever. Because again, I might as well go do Facebook ads at that point.
Did you get your from Hormozi's advice? He said about scripts. He was like, get your team just reading the script. Don't vary. Like, do you do that now, or do you kind of let them have the conversation the way they
I'm
flow?
glad you asked that because I knew that was something that in your commentary video. I noticed you brought that up. In an ideal world, me just being the control freak I am, I want everybody to nod their head at the same time, spin their chair at the same time. That's me.
Yeah.
But I just think it's impossible for me to do. It's impossible for me to execute, for me to get people, taken at that level. So no, we give them a
Yeah.
script. We give them a script pretty much. We role play the script with them, but ultimately, I need 14 bullet points from this conversation.
Good.
Play around with the scripts. I just need these bullet points at the end of the call.
I think the sales process of when you're talking to a seller, like you need empathy. You need to be able to listen and take the conversation where they need to go. Sometimes it's not so structured, right? They have to like and trust you, and you're usually they're talking to so many different people, so they need to like feel like this
Yeah,
is a real thing. That's at least what I think, right? Like when you're
yeah,
talking to sellers.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I've been on the phones myself for years, and at no point did I think following the script will make you sound human. Like you just don't sound human. You sound
Yeah,
very scripted and very robotic.
for
Um,
sure.
so yeah, so that advice, came through one ear and went out the other ear. But I tried my best to implement it. It was just impossible. So what we ended up doing was there is a script and then there is a template, right? So the script is pretty much a manuscript for the template. All I need you to do is the script is there for your guidance. But you see that template, I need every single line item in there filled out. And there's 14 of them that I need at the end of the call. That's it. I don't care whether you get them. I just need all those people.
Yeah, that's solid. I like that. So this is the last thing and we can wrap it up. Man, this has been fun. This has been good to chat. And I think this would be cool. We kind of did a reoccurring just check in and chat. But I want to see if I can somehow be of service to your business. What is your dispo? Like, how many dispo people do you have? I'm curious what that process is.
Yeah, so we have 2 dispo guys. And honestly, I'll be more than happy to work together, because I think something we can also do is if we try to move a deal and I'm not getting any luck, maybe it would be helpful to maybe reach out to you, see if you maybe have some connections or some.
Yeah. Let me tell you what I'm teaching my people to do, and you tell me if this would be beneficial for some of your deals. So like what we do is, we know like the typical wholesaler will like do an email blast and they'll reach out to their VP buyers. But like what I tell people to do is I'm like, hey, you got to do the heavy lifting. Like you got to actually like look at who's buying properties around the house, call twice, text, like you got to follow up with those people every day. You got to try it, the process that they teach at Investor Base specifically, and then with cash agents. So it's like, it's heavy lifting, but you build relationships. But I think almost like every deal needs to go through that in order to find like the best buyer. But unfortunately, with the volume you're doing, you can't expect your dispo people to do that on every deal, right? Like that would be insane.
No, we don't do that. Honestly, we know what we're asking. If you give us what we're asking, we'll just run away with it.
So something like people from my team or clients that I'm working with that would be willing to do that on some of your deals that aren't moving, but you have wiggle room, or that would be beneficial to you, right? Like if we did that heavy lifting.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because again, like you said, like we're doing between 65 and 75 contracts a month right now. So I mean, between novations and cash deals, it's like surface level. Like we're asking 125. If you can give me 120, let's move on to the
it's
and I know we're leaving money on the table for sure. I know we are. So yeah, I mean, I'm more than happy to see how we can collaborate and work together. Because I remember in the past when we've done deals together, you've been very super efficient in finding buyers and like moving the deals along. So yeah. I'm more than happy to see how we can possibly score some more.
I'd love to do that, because I think I have several people, and I'd be willing to take a look at some of your deals. And like I said, we either get paid from the buyer or we do a split that's fair. Nothing crazy, right? Like we're trying to wreck you, but if we can get you more, especially if the price that you want, we can get you a little bit more than what you want, and we can get paid. Like that's a win-win, Yeah,
absolutely. And you guys can maybe work the deals deeper than my team can, just because of yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Well, we can talk about maybe connecting me with your dispo guy, and that'd be sweet, because I think that'd be awesome, man. Man, this is exciting. I'm glad we could connect. And what do you think, man? Like, you want to do? I love chatting with you, and I love how high level you're running your business. And I think it provides a lot of value. I'm on the other end where don't see that level where you're at. I know about it, but I'm not doing it. I think you provide a lot of value to my audience. Like, would you want to kind of continue?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I got plenty of free time. I'm not doing anything with my life.
You want to see something I'm doing with my free time, bro?
Let me see what you're doing.
I'll show you. Wait, are you religious? Like, it's okay if you're not, but do you believe in Jesus and like?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, of course.
Check this out, bro.
Let me see.
So this is what I've been doing with my free time. I started painting Jesus.
Oh, look at that.
So this
I
is
wonder whose beard is nicer, his or yours.
Sorry, what?
I wonder whose beard is nicer, his or yours.
Yeah, it's pretty nice, right? Like he's got a good beard. But anyway,
he got you beat, though. He got you beat. I like it. Okay.
Anyway, I'm not perfect, man. What?
What do you paint? Is that paint or is that mud?
It's acrylic paint. Oh, really? So yeah, I've just been painting. It just looks kind of muddy, But I've been doing that for a couple weeks now, just because I wanted to work on a habit with my hands and use. It helps with focus, right? Like reading, writing, painting, drawing. It helps with your brain. Apparently,
I agree. I got into reading books this year. I've read the most books this year, and I've read my entire life.
What are you reading? I want to know.
Just anything. I'm telling you, like I read like. I went through a phase when I just used to buy a bunch of books. Like if I'm on social media and somebody suggests like a self-help book or like I'll just order it. And at one point I had like maybe 40 or 50 books just sitting there, and I just started reading all of them this year. So now I figured out how to read a book a week. So think about it. I've been doing it for like the past 6 months. So I've just been reading. I can't tell you how many books I've read this year.
Bro, I love that. So 3 years ago, I had a mentor that said, hey, like every high level entrepreneur reads. So I was like, all right, I got to start reading. So I've been reading a lot for the last 3 years. I even got an app on my phone. You should check it out if you like to read. It's called Bookly. Basically, it lets you track the books that you're reading. So you can keep track of like your reading speed. All it does is like if you're about to read something, you just say start. And then when you stop reading it, and then it tracks like, okay, you read speed, how much you have left to finish this book. I like tracking just because it makes it kind of like a game.
Yeah.
But I've read a ton of books. I don't know if you're interested in this, but these are one of my favorite books that I've been reading. Not recently, but Fyodor Dostoevsky. He's an author. He's a Russian author. He's written a lot of great novels. Like some people say he's one of the greatest novelists ever. So Fyodor Dostoevsky, check it out. Like if you want to get into like deeper philosophy and like that kind of stuff, like
I see.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, text me the name because it's kind of hard for me to remember that.
Yeah, no problem. I'll text you. But I also, I don't know, again, like I'm pretty religious, so I'm almost done with the Bible. I've read.
Oh, yeah?
I'm almost.
Go ahead. I feel like there'll come a time when I will sit down and read the Bible cover to cover.
It's intense.
Like when I was younger.
Bro, the Bible is tough. I love like learning about this stuff, but it's hard. Like the Old Testament, like back in the day before Jesus came, like it's tough. It's a tough read. I'm almost done, but it's like anyone that's like, yeah, I've read the whole Bible. I'm like, have you really? I'm reading. It's hard.
It's hard to hit
cover to cover, but all right, man. Well, let's we'll end this chat, and anybody that watched, I hope you enjoyed. And if you have any questions for Francis, just leave it in the comments, and I'll shoot them his way. Francis, do you want anyone reaching out to you? Like, if they have any questions, like, do you want to drop their social media or anything?
Yeah, sure. My name is Francis Willow. You can find me on Facebook, Francis, last name IGWILO. Okay. Or you can just search my last name on Instagram and then you see my face pop up. But yeah, all right, guys. Thank you so much for having me, man. This has been a pleasure of mine.
Yeah, no, I always have a good time chatting with you, and I think there's a lot we can do together, and we can help each other grow. So looking forward to chatting more. Peace out, everybody.
Absolutely. Thank you, Nathan. See ya. Bye-bye. Yep.